State of Ohio versus Dario Alberto Almanza. Case number TRC 23404 ABC.
And we have present in court with Mr. Almanza. We anticipated this, and Mr. Dave Lucas is agreed graciously to appear and translate for the court. Good morning, Senor Lucas.
Good morning, sir.
So you have had a chance, I believe, to talk with Mr. Almanza.
I have, Your Honor. We have spoken at length about his charge.
All right, well, I need to explain his rights to him, so if you would translate that portion.
I will do so, sir.
He has the right to remain silent.
Tienes el derecho a decir nada.
He has the right to have an attorney.
Tienes el derecho a tener un abogado.
He has the right to have one appointed if he cannot afford one.
Si no puedes pagar para un abogado, ellos van a darte un abogado si quieres.
He has the right to bail.
Y tienes el derecho para pagar para ver si quieres.
He has the right to make the state of Ohio prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt.
Tú puedes decir el Estado más de probar el cargo.
Does he understand these rights?
Entienden los derechos. You have to say yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Are you and Mr. Senor Lucas able to communicate? Do you understand each other?
Y quieres saber si puedes comunicar conmigo. You have to say yes to him.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him to enter a plea. He has three choices: guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
Y dice culpa, no contest, no contest. Tienes que decir no contest. No contest.
No contesto.
No contest means he's not contesting the charge.
No vas a decir las cargas son incorrecto, no dice nada.
He's not admitting he's guilty.
No dice es culpa, solo decir no voy a contestar.
But he's not putting up a defense either.
No tiene defensa.
Is that what he wishes to do?
No quieres hacerlo, ¿verdad? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now this, I'll have to read the report and translate for me. This is a report of the officer.
Es el reporte de la policía.
On April the 16th, he was on US 52 near milepost 21.
And 16 de abril estábamos manejando. Where was he, sir?
US 52, milepost 21.
Ruta 52.
The defendant's vehicle passed by him, and he could tell visually he was above the speed limit.
Él dice que el policía puede pasar en estabas manejando una velocidad más que el límite.
It changed lanes without using a turn signal.
Cambiar las lanes para sin el ciclo.
The officer started following the defendant's vehicle.
El policía estaba siguiendo tu carro.
The officer saw the defendant's vehicle make multiple lane violations, going over the lane lines.
Él dice que vas en este carril.
The officer turned on his overhead lights and pulled the defendant's vehicle over.
Dice que el policía puso las luces para detenerte.
He asked the driver for his driver's license, and he gave him a ID card from Mexico and a passport.
Dice que presente su identificación y también el pasaporte. Your Honor, may I inject something here?
Yes.
He has a driver's license from Mexico.
Okay.
It's not an ID, and he
All right,
does have
I
a
need
passport.
to see that later. The officer asked if he had an Ohio driver's license, and he said he did not.
No, he does not have a driver's license from Ohio.
I could smell an odor of alcohol coming from inside the vehicle.
And police here, they said there's alcohol in the car.
I asked him where he was coming from.
He said they don't be annex.
There was a language barrier. We had a hard time communicating.
Dice que no puede hablar en español contigo. Difícil para ti hablar en inglés.
He eventually said he was coming from a casino.
Sí.
I asked him how much alcohol he had to drink, and he stated he had 1 beer.
Dice que un cerveza.
I could smell alcohol coming from his person, and his eyes were bloodshot.
Dice que los ojos estaban rojos.
Es porque tengo un mezquite.
Ah,
Sí.
I gave him an eye test for alcohol, which he failed.
un problema para alcohol por los ojos.
On the walk and turn test, he stated he did not want to do it. So he was placed under arrest for OVI. The vehicle was secured at the scene, and he was transported to a residence. Does he have anything, well, I want to make sure he understands, because he was charged also with driving without a driver's license and a lane violation.
Okay.
Does he understand that?
Yeah.
Is there anything he wishes to tell the court?
¿Quieres decir algo anyway? Solo presenta eso. He would just like to present that he does have a driver's license from Mexico
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
and the passport.
Well, and it's in Spanish, so if you looked at the driver's license, it appeared to be valid.
That is correct.
And he does have a passport, which is in effect now. Okay, so it's my understanding that the United States has entered into a treaty with several nations, one of which is Mexico. If you have a valid license in that country, your license is valid here too, so I'll dismiss the no operator's license charge. I'll make a finding guilty on the operating a vehicle intoxicated charge and the lane violation charge. So, on the operating a vehicle intoxicated charge, I'll impose a $400 fine.
$400.
Order him to pay the court costs, which are $110.
$110 para la corte.
His ability to operate a vehicle in this country will be suspended for 6 months.
6 meses no puedes manejar.
I'll impose a 20-day jail sentence, but I'll suspend all of that.
No cárcel.
But he has to do 5 days of community service.
Tiene que ser 5 días.
And it's my understanding he is living locally. He's living in South Point.
¿Dónde vives? South Point? Yes, he lives in South
Okay,
Point.
so he can work here at the court 5 days.
Puedes trabajar aquí 5 días.
Is he working locally?
¿Dónde trabajas?
Trabajo en roofing y pues manejo trailers.
Yeah, he works locally.
Okay, so he can work on his days off. Any day but Sunday or a holiday, he can work community service.
Puedes trabajar con ellos aquí 5 días. Cualquier día quieres. No lunes, no domingo y no festival, no holiday.
On the lane violation charge, I'll impose a $20 fine.
$20 por es muy
2 years of probation, that's just to ensure that he does what he's ordered to do, and you'll have a review hearing set for December 1st of this year. So he has to come back to court December 1st if he hasn't finished.
el primer día de diciembre tienes que regresar aquí solo decir estoy bien, no problemas, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
Problemas con-
He's got insurance.
Pero no es un corte, es un repaso.
Okay.
Does he have any questions?
¿Tienes preguntas?
Sí. Que necesito, si me da chance de manejar, porque es que mi trabajo me requiere.
He has one question, Your Honor. He says he has to be able to drive to get to and from his work. How would that work?
I can give him a permit, which I will, because he's showing he had proof of insurance on the vehicle. So there's a 15-day hard suspension, so he will be eligible for a permit after 15 days of no driving. He can discuss that with, and I'd like for you to stay and meet with him and his probation officer, but he can have a permit to drive to and from work, to community service. Is there any other emergent type things that he needs to drive for? Can you ask him that? I can give him a permit, but it has to be only special categories.
Es un permite igualmente puedes trabajar a trabajo y también para venir aquí a hospitalidad o cosas como es especial. Pero no puedes manejarte las cosas.
That's
He's fine
sufficient?
with that and happy with that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so if you, Mr. Lucas, could stick around, he'll go to the probation office to the left as you go out in the lobby, and meet with Mr. Major, the probation officer. If you could do that with him before he leaves today.
I will do so,
Your
sir.
Honor, if he wants to get the permit, but have it take 15 days out, it may be a good idea for him to go to the clerk's office with Mr. Lucas as well to go ahead and do
Okay.
that.
All right, so if you can, the whole process, and Mr. Major can assist you with how
Yes,
to
thank
get
you.
that.
Ellos van a darte el permiso y puedes actuar afuera. Yo puedo ir contigo a la oficina a hacer las cosas.
We've got one other.
State of Ohio versus Miguel
Yes, sir.
Solano Sosa.
It's case number 23-400. This is Miguel Sosa, is that correct? And again, Mr. Lucas is translating for us, and it's my understanding you've had a chance to meet with Mr. Sosa,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and were you able to communicate?
We are able to communicate, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sosa is charged that on April 15
De 15 al 15
at 10:03 p.m.,
en la noche a las 10,
he was driving while being under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
manejando con alcohol.
It's a first-degree misdemeanor. Carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine.
Es posible 6 meses en cárcel y $1,000.
The minimum penalty is a $375 fine,
Mínimo es $375.
3 days in a treatment program,
3 días en un programa para alcohol,
and a 6-month license suspension.
para 6 meses de licencia, no puedes manejar.
Does he understand the charge?
Y puedes entender las cartas. Sí. Sí, yes.
And I need to explain his rights. He has a right to remain silent.
Tienes que derecho a decir nada.
He has a right to a lawyer.
Tienes un derecho para tener un abogado.
He has a right to have one appointed if he can't afford to hire
Si
one.
no puedes pagar un abogado, ellos van a darte un abogado.
He has a right to bail.
Tienes un right para pagar después.
A right to make
No necesitas ir al cárcel.
a right to make the state prove charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Y también tiene el derecho para el Estado necesita probar todos los casos.
So you understand those rights?
¿Entiendes?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask for a plea, and it has to be either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Those are those three choices.
Como estamos diciendo, es culpa, no culpa, no contesta, no contesta, ¿quieres hacer?
What plea does he wish to enter?
No, no contest.
No contest.
No contest? No contest means he's not fighting the charge.
No van a matar la carga.
He's agreeing that he can be found guilty if I think there's enough evidence for a conviction. Do you understand that?
¿Entiendes?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I'm going to read the officer's report. He would translate.
Policía, el policía.
April 15th at 10:03 p.m., I was dispatched to a traffic stop.
Probable de tráfico.
Defendant had been stopped by the sheriff's office.
El sheriff de la county estaba allá con él.
The officer said there was a potentially impaired driver.
Posible tiene que problema con el alcohol manejando.
And asked the State Highway Patrol to take over the stop.
La policía del estado, policía del estado.
The stop occurred at Country Hearth Apartment Complex.
Estaba en Country Heart, hotel.
The deputy told me there had been a call about a suspicious vehicle driving around the parking lot.
Dice que tuve una llamada que estaba manejando sobre el hotel.
The deputy said when he got to the parking lot, he saw the vehicle still moving around the lot and stopped it.
Dice que él puede ver el coche y el carro manejando.
He talked to the driver, and there was an odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle, and the driver had red eyes.
Dice que él puede oler el alcohol y también los ojos.
There was also an open container of beer in the vehicle.
Un vaso de alcohol de cerveza estaba abierto. Por eso
Neither occupant spoke English.
nadie puede hablar en inglés,
But used a translation app to say they consumed 2 beers.
dice que usan una aplicación del teléfono para decir ustedes beben 2 cervezas.
I spoke to the driver, who was Mikel Sosa.
Estaba hablando contigo.
I detected an odor of alcohol coming from his breath.
También él dice que estaba bebiendo alcohol.
His eyes were bloodshot.
Los ojos son rojos.
There was a gentleman at the scene by the name of Ronaldo who translated for me.
Otro Ronaldo estaba hablando en inglés.
I asked Mr. Sosa how many beers he'd had to drink, and he stated 3 in approximately 45 minutes.
Dice que beben 3 cervezas en 45 minutos.
Yeah.
I administered the eye test for alcohol.
Hacen la prueba para alcohol por los ojos.
And got 4 clues for impairment from each eye.
Dice que es positivo.
He did the walk and turn test, and there were 2 clues for alcohol.
Dice que estaba caminando también para la prueba. También in alcohol.
On the one leg stand test, there were 3 clues for alcohol.
Otra prueba, otro alcohol también. PM.
He was charged with OVI and released to a friend who was residing at the Country Hearth.
No, es una carga de alcohol en manejando.
Is there anything he wishes to say in response?
Your Honor, first of all, he would like to inject that he apologizes for the inconveniencing of the court, but that he was not out on the street or the highway, was in the parking lot, and he was practicing driving because he hopes someday to be able to get a driver's license. That he was not driving at any time that night out on the highway or the street, and so he just wanted the judge to understand that he's apologetic and that he was just practicing his driving. The other man was supposed to be helping him, so that was why he was behind the wheel. He does have a passport too, Your Honor.
But he doesn't have, well, they didn't charge him with no driver's license or being under suspension.
No, he does not have a driver's license here from Ohio, and he does not have one from Guatemala.
I have a Kentucky residence address for him, is that correct?
He lives in Kentucky. Yeah, he lives in Kentucky.
Calvert City,
Yes, that's correct.
where, I'm not sure where that is.
¿Dónde está? Calvert City. ¿Dónde está?
¿Ah?
¿Dónde está? ¿Cerca de qué? Ashland o Grayson o dónde? Está cerca de dónde?
¿De Paducah?
It's near Paducah.
Okay, so he's some distance from here. Okay, on the only charge he has is the OVI charge. I'll impose a $375 fine.
$375.
Court costs $110.
Cuesta del corte es 110.
6-month license suspension. He doesn't have a license anyway, but he won't be able to get one for at least 6
No
months.
puedes tener una licencia para 6 meses.
20 days in jail, all suspended if he does 5 days of community service.
No cárcel, sí. Necesitas regresar y trabajar 5 días para ellos.
And he has to go to a driver intervention program. That's 3 days.
En 3 días en un programa para manejar sin alcohol. Es una escuela.
His review hearing will be December 1st.
Tienes que regresar aquí el 1 de diciembre, solo para un repaso. No es un corte.
¿Primero de diciembre?
Okay, I cannot give him any driving privileges, obviously, he doesn't have an underlying license. So. He'll need to meet with the probation officer, Mr. Major.
Juntar con el hombre allá, yo puedo ayudarte con
Okay,
eso.
that's all, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do are review hearings. So if you're here for a review hearing, your name's going to be called, and when your name is called, come up to the table to the right, and we'll review your file.
Torrey Baker Jr., Aaron Cron, Kayla Evans, Ashley Huff, Bryce McMillan.
Your name, sir?
Bryce McMillan.
Bryce McMillan. Do you have a report? Yes, you can approach. Thank you. Okay, so there's been an issue, which I guess you're dealing with, and we're back
Yes, Your
where it
Honor.
needs to be.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and he's in the recovery to work program.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to set his next review hearing for May 22nd, 9 a.m. Okay, let's keep getting good reports then next month.
Yes, sir. I have a payment,
Okay, how much?
$100, sir.
All right. See the clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ashley Huff, I think I saw her, and there she is. 2718, 724, 758. How are you, Ms. Huff?
Good, sir.
Can you pay anything on your fines today?
No, sir. Can you tell me how much I owe?
You can go to the clerk's office.
Okay.
It looks like the total's about 400.
Okay.
Okay, May 22nd will be your next hearing. 9 a.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Tory Baker has failed to appear, so he will get a warrant. Aaron Pong, same. Okay, whatever.
Timothy Salmons, Dylan Austin Wilson, Christy Bostic, Bradley Smith, Tony Walters.
Timothy Salmons.
Yes, sir.
162049. The only thing I'm showing that you don't have is the driver intervention program.
I was going to see if there's any way possible, I had like added it up, and I would have like the money the end of June to do like the July class, if that's possible.
Okay, we'll work with you. Now, I'm informed today that the local program is closing, so you'll have to go to Scioto County.
To where?
Scioto County is the closest. I mean, you can go to any approved program in the state of Ohio,
Okay,
but I don't think there's going to be one in Lawrence County anymore, is what I was just told this morning. So what I'd like for you to do is go meet with Mr. Major about that. He can give you the information about the Scioto County.
Okay.
There's other programs all around the state, so you can pick any of those. As long as they inform us that you've completed, you'll get credit for it.
okay.
I'll set May 22nd as your next hearing.
May 22nd, all right, thank you. Now, who do I talk to?
Mr. Major, the probation officer, to the left, back to the probation office. Dylan Wilson, 212786. And you've done your community service, you still have some fines to pay. And have you done the 3-day program?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay, so that'll apply to you too, you gotta do that. You have a payment on your fines today?
Yes, sir.
How much are you paying?
I was just going to pay 50, if that's okay.
50?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see the clerk, if you need the information on the Scioto County program, stop in the probation office and get it.
Yes, sir.
Go see the clerk about your,
When was the next review?
oh, May 22nd. Did I write that down? Okay. May 22nd.
Okay, yes, sir.
Christy Bostic? Okay, you have a report?
I paid all my fines, and I started my community service. My father was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks. We didn't know if he was going to make it, so my community service has started late. I do have a paper here showing where I do community service through my church. We have a community closet and a blessing box, and I'm in charge of both of those. But, I mean, if you don't accept that, that's fine. I will continue my community service.
I'd have to call and verify it, Your Honor.
Okay, you can, Mr.
verify this.
Cooper will check that out. She's done her
I have a member of
fines.
my church behind me. Here's my phone receipt.
Okay, I want you to do a urine screen today because of your results the last time, so.
I went to that place you told me to go to, and my urine screen was clear, and they said that I didn't need to be there for,
Okay, well, let's do one here today. If it's clear, then
all right.
that'll take care of that part. Come back after you do your urine screen.
Yes, sir.
Your name, sir?
Bradley Smith.
2377, Bradley Smith. Okay, looks to me like you're completed.
Sweet.
So, you are done, no further review hearings for you, sir.
Got you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tony Walters, 2354, Tony Walters.
Your Honor, she did not do her assessment of service on also.
Okay, she hasn't done anything, so she gets a warrant. Here. Okay, that finishes our reviews. We're going to do some more arraignments now. You have some here? Okay, you've heard me explain this twice to the prior defendants, but I'll explain it again. The rights that defendants have, you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. What you do say is all on the record. It's being recorded. If you admit something against your interests, the state can use it against you. Sir? Yeah, have a seat while I'm talking. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail. You have a right to make the state prove any charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the rights all defendants have. If you enter a guilty plea, you're waiving those rights, and you should not do that if you don't understand the proceedings, or if you want to talk to a lawyer, or if you want to have a trial about your case. Or if you don't know what to do, enter a not guilty plea. Guilty waives all of your rights, so does no contest, so don't do those pleas unless you understand the consequences of entering those pleas. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus James A. Music, case number TRC 23412, A, B, and C.
Here, James Music.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Music, it's alleged that on April the 15th at 3:45 p.m. in Perry Township, you were operating a vehicle while you were under the influence of either alcohol, drugs, or a combination of those things. And it's alleged this would be your third offense, at least the second offense within the look-back period. I'm going to go ahead, there is a refusal, so I think the look-back period could encompass the two prior. So on a third offense, make sure I tell you the correct possible penalties. On a third offense, the maximum penalty is 1 year in jail, $2,750 fine, a 12-year license suspension, forfeiture of the vehicle if it was titled to you. Those are the maximums. The minimums on a third offense is 60 days in jail, $850 fine, and a 2-year license suspension. And there's still requirement that the vehicle be forfeited if you're convicted, so that's the minimum and the maximum. So it's a really serious charge. You understand the charge, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're also charged with operating a vehicle without a driver's license. That's a unclassified misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 500 hours community service, $1,000 fine. You're also charged with failure to use a turn signal. That's a minor misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is $150 fine. Do you understand these charges, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir, I hired J.T. Holt.
Okay, I'll put Mr. Holt down.
Yeah, I've already talked to him yesterday.
Did he give you any dates when he was available to come to court?
He said the first would be good for him.
All right, May 1st will be your next hearing. and that will be a pretrial at 10 a.m. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. You are under, well, you don't have a license, but you're under suspension now because of the filing of these charges. I'll let you sign a $2,000 signature bond, and what that means is you're just signing a piece of paper that says you promise to come to court, or you'll pay a $2,000 penalty for not showing up, and you get a warrant for not showing up. Any questions, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. They towed the car out of my driveway and put a hold on it and said I can't get it till after court. How do I go about getting the car?
You can talk to Mr. Holt about that. He can file a motion to have it towed someplace, but I don't know, in this circumstance, if the state may put up a fight because the vehicle could be forfeited if you're convicted. So you'll need to talk to Mr. Holt about that.
I can't get it out today, and he's
You
not.
cannot get it out
Yeah,
today.
he's not in today. Okay, I'll let the dealership know. I had it for 24 hours. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
May 1st is your next hearing. Mr. Holt can file something before then if he wants.
Yeah, I can wait till Monday to call him, so. Is there a paper I can get to write down the court date?
In the little basket right there, there's a place to put your next court date on.
Okay.
May 1st, 10 a.m.
State of Ohio versus Bobby Johnson, case number CRA 23235. Bobby Johnson.
Sir, are you Bobby Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, have you received a copy of the charge? I see you got a ticket.
That's all I got.
I do have, they filed a long form now, so bailiff will serve you with a copy. You've been charged with open dumping, which is an unclassified felony. Carries a maximum penalty of 4 years incarcerated and a $25,000 fine. Do you understand? It's alleged that you, on April 13th, in Perry Township, disposed of solid waste by open dumping or burning. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir.
Do you have any income coming in?
Social Security.
That's your only income?
Yes.
I'll appoint Mr. Steyer. Now I'm appointing you a lawyer, and he's here, so we'll get him in the courtroom. Mr. Steyer, this is Bobby Johnson. He has an unclassified felony open dumping charge. I'm going to let him sign a $2,000 signature bond. When would you like to come back for a preliminary hearing?
Where at?
I'll be here on the 1st. I'll be here on 24th and the 28th. So if one of those days is good for the court.
First, May 1st for a preliminary hearing, and there's a time waiver till then.
I don't think it's necessary if we have 15 days if he's out of jail.
Okay, let's see.
I was trying to look within 15. Wait, I'm on the wrong.
10, that's 10.
Yeah, it's,
All right, May 1st is the next hearing.
State of Ohio versus Jacob McLeod, case number TRC 23402. ABC.
okay. Thank you.
Sir, are you Jacob McLeod?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McLeod, it's alleged that on April the 16th at 3:33 a.m. in Union Township, you were operating a vehicle after consuming alcohol underage. The state's alleging that you took a breath test and tested 059 on the breath test. If you're under the age of 21, under Ohio law, you're not permitted to consume any alcohol. So this is below the standard for a per se violation under the regular OVI statute, but because of your status, if you're under 21, it's a subsection of that statute. So it's a 4th degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. There is a mandatory 90-day license suspension if you're convicted of this offense. You understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also charged with not wearing a safety belt. That's a mandatory $30 fine if you're convicted. And having a light out on the rear of your vehicle, either being the license plate light or the tail light. They don't distinguish between the two. It's just a rear light violation.
Yep.
Maximum penalty for that is $150 fine. So you have 3 charges. Do you understand the 3 charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I explained the rights the defendants have at the start of court. Do you understand those?
Yes, Your Honor.
What plea do you wish to enter these charges?
No contest.
If you enter a no contest plea, you're not putting up a defense and you're telling the court, I'm not admitting that I did this, but I'm not denying it either. And if you think what the state has as evidence is enough to convict me, you can find me guilty without a trial or a lawyer.
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, the citation did not come through as an underage, that came through as an one. Could you tell me the section number?
It should be 4511. Well, let me look at the... Actually, it's got both 4511 19A and then there's a 4511 19B. 19B is the underage.
It came through as A1A.
Well, wait, hold on, let me read the report. Okay, let's get the prosecutor in and get some clarification. I thought maybe there, could be some evidence of some sort of drug or other substance other than alcohol, but I don't see that in the report.
When those citations get filed electronically, the computer picks up first.
Okay.
ORC.
All right, Mr. Heald, this gentleman is Jacob McLeod. He has a TRC case number, and the officer elected to, he put both the OVI statute on the charge and the underage consumption. I've looked at, and he's entered a no contest plea. I've looked at the report, and there was a test, he did take the breath test and tested 059, so it's under the presumption for a regular OVI, but would be a violation for underage. I've looked at the report. It doesn't appear, I thought, well, maybe there's some evidence of marijuana or some other drug use in combination with alcohol. It doesn't appear to be the case. So are you satisfied with dismissing the regular OVI and proceeding under underage consumption?
And that's the OVUAC statute? Yes,
Right.
we're okay with that.
All right. So we'll dismiss, thank you, dismiss the 19A1A. So the officer actually did cite you both with a regular OVI and operating a vehicle after consuming alcohol underage. So I'm going to make a finding only on the after consuming alcohol underage. That's a lesser charge than the regular OVI. So,
Okay.
is there anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
I do want to apologize. I am sorry that I did do that. I thought I was fine when I went out, but as it opened my eyes, I realized that it's not. I appreciate your time, though.
Are you working, sir, or what are you doing?
I'm actually in a CNA class right now, and I plan on going back to school for LPN in August.
Okay. Well, these kind of things are important. I don't know that this will stop you from doing anything you want to do, but if you're working in the medical field like that, that's a licensed position. In other words, the state of Ohio has to examine you, make sure you're fit to do the job. And at some point, you get these kind of offenses, they're going to say, nope, we're not going to license you. So, you know, what you do follows you. You know, hopefully this won't keep you from doing what you're wanting to pursue, but if you get another one, I would say it probably would stop you from getting licensed. So things have consequences. So learn that from this and go on and have, you know, we all mess up and make mistakes, just don't make any more.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? All right, so on the consuming alcohol underage, I'll impose a $60 fine. I'll order you to pay court costs, which is $110. $60 on the fine. 5 days in jail, which I'll suspend. I won't impose any additional penalty other than there's a 90-day license suspension, which is mandatory. I don't have a choice about that. That's what the legislature tells me I have to do. Yeah, 90 days is the minimum mandatory license suspension. I'll give you a permit since you do have insurance to drive. Are you working or just going to school?
Well, I start up on the floor in 2 weeks, and then it's like a class at Huntington Health and Rehab. And in 2 weeks, I have my orientation. I'll be working.
Okay, I'll give you a permit to drive to class and to work.
Okay.
So you'll talk to the probation officer. He's going to give that to you. Where are you taking your classes?
Huntington Health and Rehab, and in August, it'll be at Collins Career Technical
Okay.
Center.
Well, so you're going to be driving out of state, so you live in Chesapeake, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to give you this. This is going to be a judgment entry from me saying you're allowed to drive. So here's what you need to do. Because if you get stopped, say in Huntington, they're going to run your license. It's going to show up suspended. Then you're going to have this piece of paper and he says, oh, he can drive for these reasons. Well, if I were you, and what you should do anyway, don't get pulled over. Use your turn signal when you're making a turn. You should do that anyway. When you're changing lanes, don't exceed the speed limit. Don't drive like you've got some sense and avoid getting pulled over because you're going to have a lot of explaining to do if you get pulled over for that 90-day period. And then it's not automatic that your license gets reinstated. You'll have to deal with the B. You're going to have to deal with the B&B. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with your insurance company because you're probably already paying a higher rate for insurance. Well, guess what? It's going to go up now because you've got an alcohol-related offense. You're a young male. Young males think they're great drivers, but they're not. They're terrible drivers. And then you throw some alcohol on top of that, and they're even worse. So, but eventually you can get over all that down the road, but you're going to be under greater scrutiny for a while. But it'll drop off after a while, but you got to act like you've got some sense for a while, unlike some of your friends that are your age. Don't act like them. Act like you're a grown-up. Okay, your next hearing is going to be December the 1st. If you get everything done, you don't even have to come back. This is a review hearing. I want to make sure people do what they're ordered to do. If you take care of everything, pay your fines and court costs, you don't even have to come to that hearing. If you don't pay it, you got to show up. If you don't show up, well, then you just made a non-jailable offense jailable because you're going to get yanked into jail because you'll have a warrant out there. Okay, so it's not like 7th grade homework where it's, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't have to do it. Nothing's going to happen to me. No, something's going to happen. I don't want you to go to jail, but you could if you blow this off.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, there's the tail lights and.
Okay, on the safety belt, that's a mandatory $30 fine. Tail light, I'll do a $10 fine. Okay, so now you're going to go meet with the probation officer. You're going to go out in the lobby, 90-degree turn to your left, go west to that counter. Mr. Majors, your probation officer, he'll talk to you about some stuff, have you sign something, and then give you some paperwork, and you'll be free to go.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck.
State of Ohio versus Mariah Hudson, case number CRB 18483, CRD 18746, A and B.
All right, and you're Mariah Hudson,
Yes,
and you come in on your own, or did you get,
I came in on my own. I missed my court dates. I mixed it up.
right, you missed a review hearing
Yeah.
on March 24th. Okay, on a, both are driving issues on your license, so. Okay, you said you got mixed up on the dates, or? Okay, and you did make a pretty substantial payment on your fines.
Yes.
All right, I'll cancel the warrants that have been issued, and I'll give you another review hearing date on May 22nd at 9 a.m. Get these completed, and you can quit worrying about coming to these hearings.
Okay.
May 22nd, 9 a.m. is your next review hearing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Derek M. Maynard, case number TRD 14169.
Okay, and you're Derek Maynard.
Yes, sir.
This one's been pending for a long time.
Yeah, 2014, I believe.
Yeah. All right, you're coming in on your own to clear it up, or?
Yes,
Okay, well, thank you for doing that.
sir. I'm also in Lodestar, sober living in Huntington, and on home confinement to Capel County.
Okay, well, that's part of the process, right? Clearing up your
Yes,
past
sir.
mistakes, so I'll go along with that sentiment, so I'll withdraw the warrant that had been sitting out there all this time. Well, you never even, this case was still pending. You never resolved it.
No,
You were charged with driving without a license. How do you plead to that?
no contest.
Okay, that means you're not putting up a defense to it and agreeing you can be found guilty if I think you were guilty.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
I've got a statement from the officer that says defendant was stopped for a lane violation, turned from 775 on the State Route 7. Stated he only had ID on him, confirmed they did not have a driver's license. So, you have a license now?
No, sir, I'm trying to get it
Be
figured
trying
out.
to get
Yeah.
one? Okay. All right, well, I'm sure you don't have a lot of money at this point, so I'll impose a $20 fine and court costs.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
And then I'll set it for a review. And you can actually work off, I'll let you do both the court costs and the fine by working community service. We give you $50 a day credit.
Okay.
And actually, coming up on April 29th, which is a week from tomorrow, we're going to give double credit. So you get $100 credit toward your fine and court costs if you came in and worked communities. If you can get here 7:30 a.m. right here, you'll probably get fed too, won't you?
I believe so, Your Honor.
You'll go to the fairgrounds, they're doing a project there. It's not like, you won't be scraping grease from under the mill like my dad said, that's the hard part. You'll get fed. That's what my dad told me. I told him I was working hard writing a brief, and he said, you're not working hard if you're not scraping grease from under the mill.
You said it's on the 29th?
The 29th.
Okay.
Next, the hot mill. Okay. Special metals now, we always call it the nickel plant. Okay, June 23rd will be your next review hearing.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Write that down, so you won't forget. You can get a copy of the judgment entry from the probation office.
Okay. June 23rd?
Yes, probation office to the left as you leave the courtroom.
Okay, what time?
9 a.m. Get it done before then, you don't even have to come back.
Okay. What is it, just court cost and,
$20 fine and court costs.
all right, thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Brandon Champanella, case number CRA 2279 A&B.
And you're Brandon Champanella?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you missed a review hearing back in August of last year, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was currently working out of town.
Okay, and did you get arrested on the warrant, or you just coming in on your own?
Came in on my own.
And all you have really is fines to pay and court costs. Do you have a payment on those? You paid them, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it all paid now? Can you check it? See, it's case number 2279, all paid. All right, your case is completed. No further review hearings.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jack Freeze, case number CRB 23241.
And sir, are you Jack Freeze?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freeze, it looks like you got a citation for failure to confine a dog that's alleged to have happened on April the 13th
Yes,
in Fayette Township.
yes.
That's a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is a $150 fine. There's no jail time. Do you understand the charge?
Yes.
How do you plead to it?
Guilty.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true. Okay, I've got a affidavit from the issuing officer, Adam Myers, it looks like. It says, on April 13th, I received complaints about multiple dogs running into traffic at the defendant's residence. When I arrived, I witnessed several dogs run into the road in front of my vehicle. The defendant admitted that the dogs belonged to him and that they were unlicensed. I gave him an opportunity to purchase his tags, but cited him for running loose in traffic as a traffic hazard. Okay, anything you wish to say, Mr. Freeze?
Well, I got all the fence fixed and got them pulled up.
Okay. And you're getting them licensed?
I got the receipt where I got the license.
Okay. Okay, looks like 4. All right. All right, well, since you've done that, I'll impose a $40 fine and suspend the court costs. Can you pay that today, or you need time to pay it?
I need time.
Okay, I'll set it for a sentencing hearing. How much time do you need?
About a week.
Let's make it 2. May the 5th for sentencing at 10 o'clock, but if you've paid the $40 before then, you don't have to show up.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Pay it to the clerk, and you don't have to appear. If you haven't paid it, you got to show up on May 5th.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can pay it online, too, if you have access to the computer.
My daughter does.
Okay, good. She can help you with that.
State of Ohio versus Stephen W. Day, case number CRB 23242.
All right, Mr. Haslam, you're representing Mr. Daly.
I am, Your Honor.
You waive the reading.
We would waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
You have a preference for a pretrial date
May 15th, Your Honor.
and time waiver until then.
We would waive time, yes, Your Honor.
All right, at finished request, case is set for a pretrial on May 15 at 10 o'clock. He can sign $1,000. Well, he's got a bond up. His bond is continued. Is there, what's the state's position on a protection order?
The alleged victim called this morning and is asking for a protection order.
We would ask actually for a mutual protection order at this point, Your Honor.
Well, she's not here, so I can't order her to do anything. I'll order him not to go around her, and if she approaches him, he needs to retreat and call law enforcement. So there'll be a protection order issued.
Your Honor, the parties do have a minor child. Mr. Daly's indicated to me they will work through alternative family members to facilitate the relationship with the minor child.
Okay.
But that is a concern moving forward.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't design this system, but I don't have any jurisdiction over the custody issues. So they can go to common pleas if they need orders on that. Okay, next hearing, May 15, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio recalls Christy Bostic, case number CRB 23122.
Well, Ms. Bostic, you're still testing for the same thing you tested last time.
Yes, and I actually got on Google to find out why that was happening, because I have been clean for almost 17 years. And it says that if you mix certain drugs together, that it can do that. I have it right here.
Are you got a prescription?
I'm on 13 prescriptions. I'm a severe diabetic, I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol, and labetalol is what I take for my blood pressure, and metformin is one of my diabetic medications. And they are both listed on here, that if you put them together, that it can cause that adverse reaction.
All right.
Unfortunately, I'm very sick after getting clean.
All right, you still have community service?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I've looked over this paperwork, it does look legit, but I will still verify.
All right. Okay. Get in touch with Mr. Cooper. Is there, how many hours are there?
I didn't add them up.
There should be about 19 or 20
Okay,
completed.
so you still have some more to do.
Yeah, I have like 10 more hours.
I'll set your next hearing for June 16th. If you get everything finished by then, you don't have to come back.
Perfect. Thank you. 9 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We're ready for pre-trial, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to start the pretrial docket, so we need the lawyers, the prosecutor, people that have pretrials that are outside to come into court.
Heather Blevins in here. Heather Blevins. Oh.
State of Ohio versus Sarah C. Dixon, case number CRB 23119.
Morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Vital's case set for pretrial. Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Your Honor, if it please the court, we've had an opportunity to review what we have of evidence, which is not going to include a video because the loss prevention people did not preserve it, and therefore we would have a difficult time proving this case. And also, Mr. Vital's been very good about filling us in on some of the details of his client and whatnot, and we feel it's best that we just go ahead and dismiss this charge.
We have no objection.
Case will be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Tyler Wellman, case number TRC 23316, A and B.
Mr. Haslam's case. Haslam.
Your Honor, I've discussed the matter with the state this morning. We'd also asked to reset this for May 15th to allow Mr. Heald and I some time to do some additional discovery in this matter.
Mr. Hill?
We are not opposed to that, Your Honor.
Case will be continued to May 15th, 10 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Charles Wheeler, case number TRC 23102 A and B. State of Ohio versus Nikki Wheeler, case number TRC 23104 A and B.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. This is Mr. McCown's case set for pretrials.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, it's my understanding that on Charles Wheeler, that the state would move to dismiss. There are some evidentiary issues in this matter that we'll get through if the court would like, but basically none of the alleged driving activity is on video at all. The trooper who pulled him over indicated, hey, I've got all this on video. There was nothing. He indicated there was an odor of alcohol from the vehicle, but other than that, there were no standardized field sobriety tests, no anything else in this matter.
And specific to our take on this situation is that during the time that the video was playing and the trooper was following the individual who was driving ahead of him, it was almost 2 minutes and there was one minor violation during that time period. So the officer was actually recording during that time period. And then after that, we felt that the phase 2 of the stop was maybe lacking a little bit in specificity as far as the reasons for asking Mr. Wheeler to get out of the vehicle. Then there were no field sobriety tests or chemical tests. So the case is lacking. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't believe that he was driving while he was impaired. And so we want him to know that if this happens again, that we're going to be very serious about it if there's another such incident.
All right, so Mr. Wheeler's case is dismissed. What about, and Nikki Wheeler also has a case?
That is correct, Your Honor. Your Honor, this arose later on in the evening, and it's my understanding that based upon pretrial negotiations, she would enter a plea of no contest. It would be a first offense in this matter, and she has already attended the DIP program and successfully completed it. We understand there would be a license suspension. I think the prosecutor is in agreement to run that retroactively to the date of offense, the judicial suspension.
The license would have been suspended that day because of a refusal, and that was January 29th.
Okay. And what plea does she wish to enter then?
No contest, Your Honor.
With a stipulated finding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you agree with that, Ms. Wheeler?
Yes.
Is there any, you have a right to make a statement if you want. You don't have to. Do you have anything you want to say? No?
No, sir.
All right. I'll make a finding of guilty based on your plea. What's the circumstances of the refusal? Because normally I give a pretty high fine on this. Is there any explanation for that, or?
I felt like I needed medical attention. I was having almost a panic attack, and I requested medical attention, and after that he didn't pursue any further testing.
I'm just looking over the officer statement. Okay. And you were transported to the hospital, and you weren't given an opportunity to do urine screen there, so I won't. Because normally, if I would give a $1,000 fine, but I don't think under these circumstances it was an out-and-out refusal. So I'll impose a $500 fine. Order the cost be paid. 6-month license suspension, which starts January 29th. 20 days in jail suspended. 30 hours of community service. We have a community service program here at the court. You can do 5 days is the 30 hours. You can do it every day but Sunday or holiday. You can do it, so if you're working, you can do it on your days off. She's already completed, I do have the report from the driver intervention program. She's completed that. Her review hearing will be December 1st. If you get things finished before then, you don't have to come to the review hearing. If you haven't finished, you got to show up. If you don't show up, you get a warrant. She'll need to meet with Mr. Major in the probation office about her probationary period. And I assume she's asking for any driving privileges?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, for occupational privileges and court, community service, the standard.
Okay, she can have driving privileges. And she'll get those with Mr. Major, discuss that with Mr. Major.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the B case was $10 fine on the stop sign.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Heather Blevins, case number CRD 23-158, TRC 23-261, A, B, and C.
All right, Ms. Scott.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You're representing Ms. Blevins.
I am, Your
Set for pre-trial.
Yes, Your Honor, it's my understanding that the state may not be in receipt of the urine test results that my client gave to the State Highway Patrol Post. So we're asking for this matter to be continued or reset in order for the discovery materials to be provided to counsel for review by my client at a later time. And we would suggest the date of June the 16th at 10 a.m.
Okay, and that's agreeable to state.
It is because of the fact that Ms. Blevins has already waived time constraints, because really the initial 90 days would run out on June 15th. So as long as there's a time waiver, we have no objection to that.
And there was one filed on March the 27th, Your Honor.
All right, June 16th then will be the next hearing. It'll be a pretrial, 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Destiny Anderson, case number TRC 22-2665, A and B.
All right, Mr. Murray is representing Destiny Anderson. He's appearing by teleconference.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do have a report from Mahajan Therapeutics that Ms. Anderson has started to do some sessions there. That was just recently filed with the court. So, how do we wish to proceed, Mr. Murray and Mr. Hill?
Well, Your Honor, that's the first thing we wanted to know is if Ms. Anderson had started treating, and so I guess we have an indication that she is, but we would like to see some more progress. It's a situation where we feel like she's in need of that kind of treatment, and we want to see her be successful.
Mr. Murray?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my understanding also.
Okay, so what we'll do is just, the court will monitor periodically her progress and treatment until we decide it's ready to conclude.
We're in agreement with that, Your Honor.
So I would suggest perhaps another month, roughly.
That works for us, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Murray, what's your schedule like in mid to late May?
Fridays, Your Honor?
Mondays or Fridays are the days we have court.
Friday, the 26th of May.
Okay, that's agreeable. Is that agreeable to say?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, next hearing will be May 26th. Pre-trial, do you want, I think I set these, I've been setting a little bit later, or when would you like it set? I can set it later so you have a more specific time to appear.
1 o'clock, would that be all right?
Well, how about noon?
Oh, okay.
Noon? Okay, let's make it noon, because a lot of times we're finished before 1. So let's make it noon on May 26th if you appear then. And so, Ms. Anderson, what I need for you to do is stay at your treatment. I need a report from Mahajan, which they know how to do that. They've done it before. And get a good report, come back on May 26th, and it actually will be, should be listed as a sentencing. May 26th at noon. Okay. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus John A. Barker, case number CRB 23-115 and CRB 23-116. John Barker, did not check in, Your Honor.
John Barker is represented by Roger Smith. Mr. Smith is present in court.
Judge, this is one that had he shown up prepared to ask for continuance. We just got the urinalysis this morning emailed, but I've had no contact with him. I don't know why he's not here.
Well, it looks like he showed up for his initial assessment at Bethesda, but then hasn't been back
I
since.
just read that.
So, issue a warrant for failure to appear.
I'll see if I can locate him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Larry Campbell, case number TRC 23-150 A and B. Excuse me, it is Leroy.
Yes. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Who's prescribing the gabapentin?
Dr. Baisdell.
Is he aware of his Suboxone?
Yes, he also prescribes that. I was not prescribed the gabapentin when I got the OBI.
Okay. Well, I think there's problematic to prescribe both of those together. That's my understanding.
Approach, Your Honor.
Yes. Hill, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, we received the urinalysis report both for drugs and alcohol, and the drugs came back with buprenorphine, so it's our understanding that he's had a prescription for Suboxone, and that would, I believe, be what that is. And then the alcohol test came back with no alcohol, so we don't have the ability to go forward with the case. We need to dismiss it.
Without objection, Your Honor.
Okay, and what's he say about his old cases?
Yeah,
Right, you can address it.
I realize I had old cases, Your Honor. I've been in prison for a while, and I would like to take care of those cases now. That, no problem. I work, so I would like to take, full responsibility and start making payments, if that's okay.
All right, the 23-150 A and B are dismissed due to the test results. Then on the remaining cases, 12, 30, 25, 12, 22, 59, and 10, 6, 27, I'll set it up for further review hearings.
Okay.
May 22nd. For his next review hearing at 9 o'clock. He's got some community service and filing costs to pay. There's 2 Saturdays coming up where you can get double credit on community service.
Okay.
April 29th and May 6th.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make a payment today, Your Honor, if that's okay.
All right, very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Allison Snyder, case number CRB 23-231.
This one right here.
One, I'm sorry, yes.
All right, this is Mr. Smith's case.
It is, Judge. This is an M4 domestic that Children's Services is now involved in because the alleged victim is a juvenile. I spoke to Mr. Hill. Our plan was to set this out about 30 days, let Children's Services do what they need to do, then come back and see where we're at after Children's Services interviews my client and the juvenile.
All right, ma'am, can you identify yourself, please, for the record?
Suzanne King, Florence County, CPS,
Okay, and you're a caseworker?
investigator.
Investigator. Okay, what can the court do to assist you in this matter?
I'll interview the child, ACV boy, at 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay, so we're just getting started on
Yes,
that part.
I've spoke with the girl.
Mr. Hill?
We are happy that Children's Services is going to help to guide us to decide what needs to happen now. I don't know whether the alleged victim is with the mother now or not, or...
Well, we discussed that last time. I think it was with the father, right?
Yeah, okay.
But there was a question whether how long that could happen. Is that cleared up now, or?
Without her being able to speak with him, we haven't been able to.
But I think we handle a lot of cases, but my memory is that you were saying, yeah, it's okay for now to be with the father, but because of some issues, you thought that might not go
Yes,
very long.
he is fine right now with his father. I just request that the restraining order be dropped as soon as possible. That way, if he does choose to come home, because like I said, he's not been away from the house for 6 months.
Okay.
So,
Well, it doesn't sound like we're to that point yet.
okay.
But we will be happy for Ms. King to give us an update when she's finished the interview.
Well, do you want to come back fairly quickly then, so we can decide that?
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Okay. So I'll consider everybody's schedule. So it's Mondays and Fridays. Now, I will not be here this coming Monday. So maybe next Friday,
That's fine.
the 28th.
Yes, I'm here, Judge, anyway. Yes.
All right, the next hearing on this case will be April 28th for pretrial at 10 o'clock.
And we're going to ask for a time waiver too.
We'll sign.
State of Ohio versus Terry Krantz, case number TRC 23311, A and B.
Terry Krantz is Mr. Smith's case, set for pretrial.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Hill, this is our first pretrial, and we were not able to resolve it. I have filed discovery, we would waive time, has to come back in approximately 3 to 4 weeks for a second pretrial. I'm here the 19th, 26th, or 22nd of May.
Well, the 26th is the best date.
I can do that, Judge, if it's convenient with the court.
All right, May 26th will be the next hearing, pre-trial at 10 o'clock.
Just wait until I get it. You're good to go.
State of Ohio versus Justin Casey, case number TRC 222460, A and B.
Your Honor, may we approach on this?
Yeah. It's a really good report. So he'll plead this tonight, and then we'll send him like after he finishes. Right. Okay, you're on.
Your Honor, at this time, we'll plead guilty to what would be considered a second high OVI. And I think there's a tail light charge or something else there also.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Casey?
Yes, sir.
So I've got the report, so excellent report you received from your treatment, so I encourage you to continue in that vein. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to accept your plea, but I'm going to delay the sentencing. And then the better you do in treatment, the better I can do in sentencing. I have a pretty broad range of what I can do on sentences.
Yeah.
So, but there are some mandatory things I have to do, but I'll give you as much consideration as I can if you show me that you are committed to recovery and this is something you're serious about and going to make a part of your life going forward. That's what I want to see. And that's going to take a little while. I mean, you've started at this and been at it for a while, but as you know, it's a lifetime commitment. So I want to see how serious you are. We'll come back periodically. At some point, I'll conclude this when I'm convinced that you've reached maximum improvement. You know, this is where you're going to land and stay going forward. So I would suggest coming back toward the end of May for the next hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any time where you're unavailable, Mr. Stratton?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think I'm good at the end of May. Let me just...
May 26th?
If you just give me 1 second, Your Honor, I apologize. Just want to make certain. May 26th? That'll be fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Next hearing will be May 26th for sentencing.
May 26th. Thank you, Your Honor. All right,
You're welcome.
good.
State State of Ohio versus Lance N. Davis, case number CRB 2350 A and B, TRC 2339 A, B, C, and D.
Mr. Stratton's case set for pre-trial.
Your Honor, just one second, Your Honor. If you do an assessment, do an evaluation, and you just want to put our assessment. Yes. I'll do that. You want to set up for another pre-trial and discuss that? Okay. Your Honor, we just asked this be set for one more pre-trial. I think we'll have a resolution at that time.
Do you have a preference for a date?
No preference there, Your Honor. We'll waive time, of course.
May 8th?
I'm sorry to have to look, Your Honor. There's a lot of things going on in May. Yeah, May 8th is fine.
May 8th will be the next hearing, 10 o'clock.
Okay, all right.
Pre-trial, yes.
We'll call that. Okay, all right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Jeffrey S. Ingram, case number CRB 2393 A and D, PRC 23134 A, B, and C, TRD 173347.
Your Honor, we got the results back for the OBI, but he's not here today, so I'm not sure where he's at. So just ask 7 days before a warrant is issued.
Mr. Hill?
We're not opposed to that, Your Honor.
Bench warrant issued in 7 days, the defendant hasn't appeared. He showed up late last month.
He did.
State of Ohio versus Teofilo Velasco, case number PRC 2352 A and B.
May we approach on this, Your Honor?
Yes.
There's somebody here from Riverside. Riverside?
Yes. Might be a conflict of interest if I start something that
His name is not in the body of this complaint, so we can't really tell her. That New Marcy's law can get us in trouble. Okay. Like she's the victim on this case, we can't really tell her anything. I think she'll have to stand up for her. Now, if this is the vet, I want to tell her once he gets his paperwork.
maybe listen to 60 hours community service. If you're okay.
So, Your Honor, we'll plead guilty to the OVI, and there's also, I think, a tail light charge on this also. I think we're going to put off sentencing to a future date and allow him to complete community service and come back after that's completed. So,
And I'll still allow him, so he's going to do 10 days before he's actually sentenced. And he can get 4 days by doing this April 29th and May 6th days. Because he gets double credit for those 2 days. When do you think he can have the 60 hours done?
probably about a month and a
Okay,
half.
May 26th date?
Yeah. And if he's made a good faith effort by then and not have it all completed, we can.
Yeah, give him more time. Yeah. All right, so I'll set it for sentencing. He's pled guilty today. You understand, sir, you're hearing a guilty plea. You're admitting the charge is true, but I'm going to delay sentence and give you a chance to do some community service, a little extra from what we normally require in order to get some consideration on your sentence.
Thank you.
Your Honor, those dates you were talking about?
May 26th.
No, the,
Oh, the date for double credit.
Yeah.
April 29th, May 6th. Those are both Saturday. This coming, a week from this coming Saturday, and then the Saturday after.
thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, next hearing, May 26th, 10 o'clock for sentencing.
Those 2 dates, you get double the credit, so we will do it on those days.
State of Ohio versus Andrew Curry, case number CRB 22-351, CRB 23-61. Do not check in, Your Honor.
This is Mr. Steyer's case, Andrew Curry, set for pretrial.
Your Honor, we received a phone call here at the courthouse this morning stating that Mr. Curry's nephew is sick, so he's unable to be here today. I would ask for a continuance. Perhaps he's providing child care. I'm
You're
not.
a close family, I take it.
Well, I mean, we like to encourage that.
I've got one nephew. I think if he got sick, I probably it would be tough. I probably could still soldier on to get to my appointments.
We all have our circumstances. So I'm going to ask for a continuance, Your Honor, to a date convenient to the court.
You missed that, Mr. Hill.
Well, I heard laughter, and I'm really sorry.
I like to have to take the laughter where you can find it.
I like it.
Mr. Curry called in and said he could not get here today because his nephew's sick. So, I think that's a new one in 30-some years of being on the bench.
I think if Brutus were sick, you wouldn't expect Susan to go to the law library.
I'd have to skip if my dog were sick.
Well, but nephew,
But Susan might also
Yeah.
have to. I mean, it's throw everything into chaos.
Well, so, we're not opposed. What's the continuance going to be?
I was just gonna say a date convenient to the court, since we're asking, he can pick a date, as long as it's one that don't have a trial or something, then that's when he has to be here.
Now,
April 28th.
I would like to say this, though, that we've had discussions about how to resolve this case, and restitution, if Mr. Curry wants to resolve it that way, is going to be important to be paid up front or very, very soon, and it's $650, if he wants to get our most favorable recommendation.
I will let him know that, Your Honor. Or, you're not Your Honor. We're not in Kentucky.
April 28th then?
April 28th, Your Honor.
April 28th will be the next hearing at defendant's request for pretrial.
Do I need to put restitution on one of those files so we can pay it? Or wait?
I don't know that it would hurt to put it on, which file is even on, so that if he can pay it, he could.
It's on the,
It would be
22,351.
And it would be to the benefit of
Walmart.
Tyler Crab, no, 351 is the, Tyler Crabtree is the alleged victim.
Okay, that's the tools.
Yes.
Kenneth Crabtree is what it says in the complaint.
Oh, I think it says Tyler Kenneth with Kenneth in quotation marks in the actual, Kenneth Tyler Crabtree is what it says in the,
In the affidavit.
affidavit, yeah.
All right, next hearing is April 28th.
State of Ohio versus Morgan T. Lake, case number TRC 23-240, A and B.
Mr. Steyer's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, due to the nature of the testing that was done or not done in this case, Mr. Hill and I are discussing possible resolution, but I think Mr. Hill would like some time to take a look a little further into the matter. We're agreeable with that, would waive time to accomplish it. So if he wants to just give us an idea when he'd like to come back.
Whenever you want to. If it's next week, 2 weeks,
Let's
3 weeks.
let's do the 12th, Your Honor, if we could.
Defendant's request case is continued on 12th. 10 o'clock for pretrial.
State of Ohio versus Hunter Cooley,
Thank you. You're pretty good.
case number CRB 23-147.
Judge, Mr. Hill and I talked to him. Was our understanding that Mr. Tooley was going to have an assessment done? He says he has not had one done.
Right.
Oh, the assessment, no, I talked to her, she said I gotta call her back Tuesday, because I've been working, so I've been calling her on the phone.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I did the assessment, yes.
Okay. And that was with whom?
I think her name was Monique. Monique,
Do you know the provider? For whom does she work?
Pathways. I'm pretty sure.
Pathways.
Pathways or path? We had discussed path.
It's, the
Path
Chesapeake
is-
Plaza.
Pass is the one in Chesapeake.
Yeah, okay. Well, we would want to find out what the result of that was and if they had some plan for him.
Did have you had an appointment there yet, or?
Yeah, I've been going, but I've been calling her because I told her I had to work, so I had to send her my work schedule. So I've been talking to her on the phone.
Did you say you had an appointment with her next week?
Tuesday.
You
I have to
go
call her
and
before
just-
work. She's
Oh,
having
you
me
just
call her.
by telephone?
Yeah, she's been having me call her.
How do you want to proceed, Mr. Hill?
Well, we're going to need to have a report, and whether that's something that can be achieved today or not, I don't know, but
I have a contact there, I can.
if we could do that, that might help us to make sure that he's getting underway.
Monique.
Okay. Texted my contact, so usually he responds pretty quickly, so we'll recall.
Recall. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Adrian Waldron Bishop, case number CRB 23-174, A and B.
Is Mr. Morford's case set for pretrial?
You gotta cancel it.
What is it?
Are you going to, you gotta cancel it?
Yeah, there's counseling. I have an appointment at the place where I'm staying, but I haven't been going to my therapist because I've been in St. Mary's. And then
You've been what?
in St. Mary's for 2 weeks, and now I'm going to be at the homeless shelter. And I don't have transportation.
You haven't gone to any counseling.
I have
You have not done any counseling since you were discharged.
St. Mary's now.
What was the day you were discharged?
It's been about a week and a half ago, maybe. I'm not sure the exact date.
Do they have a doctor? Did they give her a doctor to see?
She said she has a counselor. Or, excuse me,
Pro-charmer.
Yes. she in Ohio? It looks like initially she hasn't found out. She's in it. Who's this Crystal Science? Is that someone? It is a nurse or something. Tori Shearer.
Yes.
What relation are these people to her? She has a wild
So, okay, the defendant is Crystal's son's ex-girlfriend. I know that sounds
Kara had to cancel
so
because
it's
I'm
her
transferring
son's
benefits to West
and
Virginia
this
because I'm
is
in the Highlands of Sharpsville.
I know it's kind of the same.
Did you get it back?
I think so because I just did it the other day.
It's his brother, grandmother.
Well, maybe suggested that she would go ahead and give her suspended just since probation. She's maintain her life. Can't do that today. I don't know. Anyway, what?
Does she have a medical plan?
She did, but she. She did my job.
Unless she could go to, is there any substance use issues here?
They say,
OVP is close to, OVP and program for both is close to. Within walking distance, so you go there.
let's just see.
It's my understanding that both of those places will be dual. OVP's at 6th Avenue and 20th Street, and it's 8th Avenue, 20th Street.
You can prove that, you know where they are. That's close to you, where you ran. You can walk through with that.
Okay, it's my understanding she's going to seek some treatment, and we're going to come back after that's happened.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm particularly interested in what that assessment might reveal and whether or not I can proceed forward.
May 12th?
Yes, and I'm thinking of May. The trial they had scheduled for May 1st, it has now been settled, so I'll be able to be here and not ask for coverage for
Okay.
everything I had.
All right, next hearing for Ms. Waldron Bishop is May 12th for pretrial.
And what's she gonna really want to discuss on that?
either OVP or ProAct.
State of Ohio versus Ryan Johnson, case number TRC 23317, A and B.
Before she leaves, I've got Mr. Webb is here. Can you all do mental health?
Yes.
Also, why don't we have you speak to Ms. Waldron Bishop? She's the one leaving right now. So she's living at the Mission.
In Huntington?
Yes, in Huntington. Okay, so maybe a natural fit.
We're going to change OVP to ProAct.
All right, Mr. Johnson is pre-trial today, 23-217. Do you have an attorney, sir?
No, sir, Your Honor, I wasn't able to get one. I've talked to a bunch of them. It's just way out of our price range. As of the middle of last month, I haven't been working. Yeah, and if you guys want to see this, I mean, just...
Do you have children?
No, I don't.
And Shauna Stewart is also,
That is my wife.
is she employed or you work together?
We worked together for the last 5 years.
All right, since you're not working now, I'll go ahead and appoint counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Stratton, I'll appoint you.
Yes, Your Honor. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and we need to set a hearing date. May 8th?
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine.
May the 8th will be the next hearing. Pre-trial at 10 o'clock.
Step out for a second.
Okay, we're starting preliminary hearings next.
State of Ohio versus Dylan Hyden, case number CRA 22473, TRC 222096, A and B. All right, this is Mr. Morford's case, set for preliminary hearing.
Judge, I think as a brief history, my understanding is that Dylan went to Huntington OVP first. He felt those services were not being beneficial to his needs, so he moved to Proctorville OVP. Today is
Not yet.
and today is his first appointment with Proctorville OVP.
1 at 2:30, 1 at 3:30.
Okay, he's already been sentenced, it looks like, except for the felony is still pending, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he needs to go there, get started with treatment, continue on, and then eventually, hopefully, get this felony dismissed. If he does well.
You got to do what he asked you to do.
Absolutely.
You do not want to film it.
No, sir.
I think we should do a urine screen though today. Let's have him do a urine screen. And then if that's clean, then we'll just set another date and go on. He can go to Proctorville OVP.
State of Ohio versus Jeremy Jenkins, case number CRA 22816, CRB 22817.
Jeremy Jenkins,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morford's case.
Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
You get yourself that.
Okay, it's a good report.
Your Honor, if I may. He is also, we have sent in his aftercare plan to John. He is currently set for graduation of transitional for the 2nd of May.
Okay, very good.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I just got a job. I'm working right now, but they want us to have a license, but I can't get my license. They want to see if possibly I'll be able to get driving privileges for work.
I can't, well, you came to me with a suspended license.
Yes, I know.
So I can't undo that. You'd have to check with the DMV, you know, whatever they say. They're the ones that suspended you, not me. You got a 12-point suspension, according to what I'm looking at. So that's through the DMV, so I'm not going to override that.
Okay. So just go talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, try to get them on the phone or whatever. You'll have to take care of whatever their problems are that they have with your license. So, I mean, I think we should continue this after his graduation because we had a hiccup in February, it looks like. All right?
Yes, sir.
So I don't think we're ready to conclude this yet. You said May 2nd is when he's going to graduate?
That's correct.
What's the plan after that?
I do believe on there that he is continuing outpatient services.
I'm doing IOP for the Supplicate program.
Okay. Well, let's come back toward the end of May. That'll give us enough time to see how you're adjusting to that. May 26th? Morford, does that work?
I believe so, Judge. Give me 1 second.
According to my little note, I've given a cheat sheet showing that you are here that day.
The reason,
Yeah.
busted me. Yes, sir. Yes, Judge, I'm here then.
All right, May 26th will be Mr. Jenkins' next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Maybe you can get her to do one for you.
State of Ohio versus Roy Bentley at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 18877 and CRD 1919.
All right. And Roy Bentley was Mr. Wilford, you probably don't remember, but this was your client back in 2021. And it looks like he did not appear for a hearing. Okay, he had been, I think he went to Star maybe. So we've got 2 cases unresolved. 1900, which was a traffic matter, and 18877 was a theft offense involving a Kyle Poplin over a lawnmower. Yeah, let me do that. All right, Mr. Morford, this is your client.
I'm just making notes on it, Judge.
Okay. Have you been in prison, Mr. Bentley, or where have you been? We haven't seen you for a while.
Yes, sir, I've been in prison over here that I've done Star, and I've been out of hospital the last 2 years, bladder cancer.
Where are you living now? Are you still living in South Point?
Yes, that's our address,
Okay, what's your current address?
9 County Road 56.
Ironton?
Yes, sir.
You have a phone number where Mr. Morford can reach you?
No, I'm in the jail here.
Well, when you're not in the jail, do you have a phone where he can reach you?
Yeah, 740-534-1349.
Whose number is that?
My sister,
What's her name?
Laura, Lora, and Megan,
Is that who you're living with at the address in Ironton?
No, that's my brother I live with.
Okay. Is this the only thing that's got you in jail, or do you have other things?
I have other things.
In common pleas, or what?
Yes, I have a common plea charge.
Who's your lawyer there?
I don't know, I just got here.
Oh, you haven't appeared yet? Is it a new charge or an old charge?
It's an old charge.
It's never been, if I'm looking at the one he's talking about,
Never been adjudicated?
I'm even looking to see if he's been, no, he hasn't even been arraigned on it.
He hasn't appeared yet, he said.
However, I will say it's a 5th-degree felony possession charge from June of 2021.
Well, what I think I'll do then, if there's not an objection, I'll just set an OR bond and that way the common pleas can decide what they want to do as far as bond.
Your Honor, we were kind of hoping to resolve this one charge of the theft of the lawnmower. The restitution that would be due is $200, and if he wanted to clear that case out today, we would recommend a suspended 10-day jail sentence and probation in order to pay restitution of $200 to Mr. Kyle Poplin.
Did you hear that, Mr. Bentley?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to talk to Mr. Morford about that? How do you want to proceed with it?
We'll clear it up, shall be done with it.
Yes, sir.
I'll do it.
You want to do it? You don't need to talk to Mr. Morford first?
You understand what you're agreeing to? 10-day suspended jail sentence and a plea to a misdemeanor theft charge?
$200 fine.
Now, $200 is owed in restitution or damages to the victim of that case.
Yeah, I'll do it. Let's get it over with.
And then you'd have court costs, fine, and Judge Capper usually imposes some amount of community service. That's what you're looking at if you accept Mr. Heald's offer.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Well, and the other one's just a safety belt from 2019. We can dismiss that. if you
Yes.
please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll make a grand bargain, Mr. Bentley. We'll dismiss the safety belt violation. That's 1900. And then he's pleading to 18877. A guilty plea. Which is the theft offense. So on that, I'll impose a $100 fine, court costs, 10 days in jail, suspended, or credit. Well, let's suspend it, because if he doesn't, I need something over his head if he doesn't make the restitution. Suspended, a restitution of $200 to Kyle, K-Y-L-E, Poplin, P-O-P-L-I-N, for the lawnmower. 2 years of level 4 probation with a review hearing. First one will be June 16th at 9 a.m.
You understand you have to be here, Mr. Bentley, June 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning? Do you know where the court is located in Chesapeake?
Yes, I know what's that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions, sir?
Good.
Okay, that's all.
State of Ohio versus Shane Blanton, case number CRA 22313, CRB 20602, CRB 2853, and others. Antonio Caldwell is on deck.
This is Mr. Smith's case. It's set today for preliminary hearing.
Your Honor, we're going to nolly this to the grand jury. He's being held on a lot of other matters in common pleas court, and this will be added to those.
All right, so 22-213 is nolly to the grand jury. Now, he has other matters here, so I'm going to set those for...
Sure.
And you can remain on the case
Oh,
for
thank you.
pretrials on review.
Yes.
So probably a month out before...
That'd be fine, Judge. I'm here. I think the 26th you said was a fairly good date.
All right, it is now. It won't be by the time we get
Well,
to it.
most dates aren't, I find.
May 26th will be the next hearing here on his old cases, pretrials on review for Mr. Blanton. There's several of them.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I'll be in touch, Shane. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Antonio Caldwell, case number CRB 23243. Joseph Cremines is on deck.
All right, sir, are you Antonio Caldwell? Can you hear me okay, Mr. Caldwell? I'm going to go over your rights with you before I do anything else. This is called an arraignment hearing. You are appearing in the court in Chesapeake, the Lawrence County Municipal Court, by teleconference. So your image is in the courtroom on a screen. What you say and your image is being recorded. It can be used against you if you admit something. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, and to make the state prove this charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things? The charge against you is burglary, and a copy of it was faxed to the jail this morning at just a little bit after 10 a.m. So you should have a copy there, or the jailer should have a copy to give to you.
I just got one.
Okay. I'm going to go over it with you to make sure you understand it. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to understand it. The state's alleging that on April the 20th of this year in Perry Township, by force, stealth, or deception, you trespassed in an occupied structure that was the home of another person, and that you did that with the purpose to commit a criminal offense in that residence. That's burglary. It's a felony of the second degree, and it carries a maximum penalty of 8 years in jail and a $15,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What is burglary? What was I supposed to say? Like, I don't get it. I had stuff over out to make the money.
Well, there's an affidavit that says you broke into an apartment. It should be attached to what you have there. Looks like it was the residence of someone by the name of Kimberly Short.
Yeah. What got charges on her? And I was trying to help out, but so I don't know why they would say that. I don't get it.
Well, it may not be true, and they may not be able to prove it, but this is what you need to be aware of. She signed some sort of affidavit saying you were in her residence without permission.
Yeah, he was told him I was there. I told him I was there because I was grabbing my stuff. she was good when she came downstairs, she didn't have no problem with the landlord.
Okay.
They locked it. She told me he locked it. So it probably made us keep up moving that one.
Well, they may not be able to prove the charges then, so. Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir. I was waiting on my birth certificate.
To get-
It's supposed to come in the mail.
To get a
It's supposed to
job?
come in the mail this week, yeah. And I was telling my son to jail, I guess they don't want me to get it.
I'm going to appoint Mr. Smith to represent you on this.
Yeah.
He's here in the courtroom, so he will be your lawyer. What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Caldwell?
We would request a $25,000 cash surety bond.
Judge, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he can't make that type of cash surety bond. Am I correct, Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, sir. I thought I'd get an OR. I mean, I ain't been in trouble, I can get in trouble. And I've got some poor papers on them, that I really need.
Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $3,000 cash or surety. So hopefully that's more doable.
Can we set it next Friday, Judge, to get within the time constraints then?
Your next hearing will be April 28th. Do you want to talk to a bail bondsman, sir?
Yeah, I don't know what the, yeah, what is the, how much is that?
$300, probably.
Mr. Salem, right behind you.
Oh, Mr. Sellers is there, so all you have to do is take a few steps back and you can talk to the bail bondsman.
Okay.
I wasn't sure, did he say 25,000 or 2,500?
I set it at 3,000.
Oh, 3,000, okay.
I read the affidavit.
Okay.
So April 28th will be the next hearing. Now, do you need a phone number?
If he's got one available, Judge, I will call the jail if you're still in to talk to you, but if not, if you get out, I need your telephone number. A good,
I don't have one.
well, is the jail there close so you can take my number down?
Yeah, I need a pen.
Or can the jailer write it
Maybe they'll
down?
write it down for you.
Hey, can you write a number down for me, sir? All right, what is it?
304
304
697
697
2400.
2400.
Your Honor, it appears that Mr. Caldwell and the alleged victim live in the same apartment setting. And so
I'm going to order you stay away from Miss Short. Is that her name? Don't go around there or contact her while, if you get out on bond.
Oh, what's his name?
Your lawyer, Roger Smith.
Roger Smith.
I'll call up here later on this afternoon. If you're still there, we'll talk. If not, you need to call me at that number, okay?
Okay, where's the bail bond?
I think he's in the blue shirt right down the hall from you. He ducked out. As soon as I said that.
That's
He's
service.
there in the jail. I saw him.
Well, you could just give that award.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. Okay, who's next?
State of Ohio versus Joseph M. Cremings, case number CRB 22-658, CRB 22-655. Keon Gage is on deck.
Joseph Cremings, and this is Mr. Smith's case.
It is, Judge. He failed to appear last week. His father, I believe it was his father, some gentleman dropped off paperwork that he was at St. Mary's Medical Center in Ironton. Arrived at 9:58 a.m. last Friday and had a serious case of poison ivy, which is why he was
Right
not
up there
here.
with your nephew being sick. For not reasons.
Well, that's-
Not in the court. Huh?
I was just wondering if poison ivy was spreading yet.
Well, he had contact dermatitis due to poison ivy. That's what the paperwork said.
that's him.
There's
goes Gary.
Mr. Sowers, you're being paged all over the place.
So he was here, or his dad was?
No, he
That's-
brought the paperwork. Yeah, his dad dropped, I was his dad.
Okay.
An older gentleman gave me
All right.
paperwork for Joe, saying
Okay.
he was at the urgent care, I guess, or St. Mary's at 9:58 last Friday,
But now he's in jail,
and he was arrested, he's in jail.
because he
That's
hadn't shown up on the 14th of April.
correct.
So, Your Honor, we have some serious concerns about this young man's well-being as far as his history of drug abuse and whatnot. I've heard from family members who have grave concerns about him. And so, but when we were here before, if the court will remember, on March the 31st, it was discussed about him having, being connected to Thrive and going to Riverside.
And Juanita from Thrive was here right behind you.
And I'm going to guess that didn't happen.
No, I attempted to call him several times. I sent several text messages, no response whatsoever.
He probably had poison ivy on his hand that he picks the phone up with.
No, my phone is not working, and I was going to ask, I'm already in a program, I'm in a UAV program, in January. Is that something that can be done, or do I need to be people? My phone was turned off when I was in jail last time.
I don't recall another program being mentioned when we were here before. We don't know what program that is.
Well, Riverside, he was supposed to go to Riverside and Thrive.
Yeah, and I couldn't contact him to give him, because I had talked to Bobby about it, and I couldn't contact him in order to give him the information to do the assessment with Riverside.
I think Mr. Cremeen said that he was at Huntington Hospitalist Group. I think that's what he just said. Yeah.
HHG, yes.
So
You
I
have
don't
Ohio Medical card?
Yes, I do. Medicaid, yes.
Well, he's got a history of not coming. I'm looking at his file. It's like every time there's a hearing, he doesn't show up. So I think he needs to post a bond.
We would agree, Your Honor.
You've established a record of not appearing, so you're gonna have to post a bond. And there's the bail bond. I can see him in the blue shirt right behind you.
I'm not able to post it on, so I was have to stay here.
Okay, well, that way we'll know you'll be at the next hearing.
Well, that's not my fault. Is it possible to give him some kind of, to go with the treatment?
We would be agreeable to him going to treatment if it's residential and if there's an electronic monitor involved.
Did you hear that, Mr. Cremeen?
Yes. Where is the treatment at?
Well, we haven't, well, I don't know. Who's got an open bed? Riverside does. That's who you were supposed to go to before.
Oh, okay.
Is that something you want to do?
Yes.
With an ankle monitor?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, well, I got to give you the ankle monitor speech.
Okay.
And this is serious business, because if you think you might run or you're going to be tempted to cut that ankle monitor off, there will be nothing I can do. You're going to go to the grand jury and get indicted. You're going to go to common pleas court, and they're going to send you to prison for 3 years for cutting your ankle monitor off. So, seriously, if you think you might be tempted to cut your ankle monitor off, you'd be better off just staying in the county jail for now, because you're not going to wind up getting 3 years over this. But you'll get 3 years for cutting your ankle monitor off. And you know how I know? Because I've had people do it. I've had people just like you say, no, Judge, I won't do that. And then they get out and they do it. And several of them are in the prison system right now for cutting their ankle monitor off.
I understand.
Okay? And you're telling me you won't do it.
I won't do it.
And you won't be tempted to do it.
No. Yes, sir.
I mean, I told them the same thing and they still did it. I don't know. We had one guy go to Charleston for a party. Right, Kim?
Yes.
It must have been a heck of a party.
That was fun.
I think he was out maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks for, no, 2 weeks, 3 years. 2 weeks, 3 years. It doesn't seem like a very good bargain for me, to me, you know. So, okay. I will order you Now, the other thing is, can we get an ankle monitor today? Friday afternoons are not a great time to get ankle monitors placed. But maybe we can try. And if you can, then you'll go to Riverside and they'll pick you up. Mr. Gwynn, you're gonna coordinate that with?
Yes, sir, I'm already working on it.
Okay. And if it doesn't happen today, then it'll happen Monday.
Okay.
What's the amount of bond for
2,000 OR. With ankle monitor and inpatient treatment on it to Riverside.
the next pre-trial?
Yeah, we need to decide that when we,
Just the only week that is bad for me is May 8th. That week I will be out of town. I'm here the next 2 Fridays. I'm here.
5th of May.
The 5th of May is fine.
Okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully with a good report that you're still there and doing what you're supposed to do.
And we prepared a time waiver for that.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Keon Gage, case number CRA 23-238 and CRA 22-537. Benjamin Shepherd is on.
Good morning. And you are Keon Gage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got a couple charges here for you. 23-238, 22-537. I'm Judge Capper at Orange County Municipal Court in Chesapeake. You're getting arraigned on these charges and appearing in the court monitor that's recording your image and audio. So what you say is on the record. You don't have to say anything. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, to have bail, to make the state prove charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those rights you have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go over the oldest charge first. And this was faxed to the jail this morning before 9 a.m., so you should have it. It's a theft offense, felony 5 theft offense. It alleges that on August the 14th of 2022, so not quite a year ago, you purposely deprived Walmart of property. The property had a value of over $1,000, $1,075.85. So that's what makes it a felony 5. If it's over $1,000, it becomes a felony. Maximum penalty for that's a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Then you've got the most recent case, 23-238, is a theft offense also. This is alleged to have happened March 31st of 2023, also Walmart, that you took without the consent of Walmart, property being valued at more than $1,000. Again, maximum penalty, a year in jail, $2,500 fine. Do you understand that these two charges?
Yes, sir. I'll wait for you.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
Right now, I don't have a lawyer. I'm working right now in Ashland and Summit for Grand View.
Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you?
Yes.
So what, the work you're doing in Ashland, what is it?
I work for Grand View. I work at a warehouse.
Are you paid by the hour?
Yeah.
How much per hour?
I get like $8 an hour, 8.25.
I didn't hear what you said. Can you say it again?
Yeah, like 8.25 an hour.
Okay, you're eligible for court appointed counsel then. I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you. And when did you come into the jail, sir?
Last night.
Okay. So the 20th.
2 felony theft charges from Walmart.
What's the state's position on bond? And what's your, I've got a Huntington address for you, Virginia Avenue, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Gage. Keon Gage. Keon.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, the state would ask for a $2,500 cash or surety bond.
I'll set bond at $2,500, cash or surety. Is that a bond you think you could post?
250.
Yes, sir.
Not at the moment. I don't have any, like my wife, she can pretty come up with, I guess, some of it, but I don't think she has the whole 250. Being that, we just paid out like less than 3 days ago.
Well, we better set it for next Friday then. I'll set your next hearing. Do you know where the court is in Chesapeake?
Yes, I got a ticket for the municipal court.
Yes, in Chesapeake on County Road 1.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, you gotta be, if you post bond, you gotta be here next Friday at 10 o'clock for a hearing on both your cases, April 28th. Your lawyer will be here. And if you don't make bond, of course, you'll still be in jail and I'll see you just like this. Do you have a phone number, sir, where you can be reached, or your wife can be reached?
Yeah.
What is that?
304. Excuse me. That people right there. Yeah. Yeah. Her number is 304-416-9872.
What's her name?
Princess.
Gage?
Yes.
And do you have a cell number yourself?
Yeah, 304. My phone is not on, but I can still receive calls. 304-929-5195.
Okay. April the 28th, 1 week from today, is your next hearing in this court.
Okay, so can I post bond or something today?
Yes, sir. The bail bondsman's there rattling around the jail somewhere. I've seen him 2 or 3 times behind you, Mr. Sauer, so you probably want to try to talk with him.
So I don't put bail tonight, okay, to the CA?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Benjamin L. Shepherd, case number CRB 23240.
All right, sir, you're Benjamin Shepherd. I'm Judge Capper at Lawrence County Municipal Court. This is your arraignment hearing. And you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything, but if you do, it's all going on the record. If you admit something, the state could use it against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things? You're charged with domestic violence. And the state's alleging that on April the 18th in Rome Township, you knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Caleb Shepherd, and that Caleb's either a member of your family or a member of your household. So that's a first-degree misdemeanor, and it carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead to this charge?
Not good.
You want a lawyer appointed?
Yes, sir.
You have a job?
I do.
Where do you work?
Yes.
Are you paid by the hour?
Yes, sir.
How much per hour?
1660.
How many hours a week do you work?
It can range from 60 to 20. It's only part-time.
Okay, I have to determine your gross annual income. Did you file an income tax return for 2022?
I have not, no.
I found an extension.
Do you know what your gross income is?
I do not.
Do you have children you're supporting?
Yes, one daughter. It would be around 12 to 13,000 a year.
Okay.
It's his mother, I think. Wait, his mother?
Yes.
It's his mother. And we actually wanted to find out from her some things about this too.
Okay.
You want to come up here?
His tax return had 10,000, it was under 11.
So his mother says his tax return was
So
under
part-time.
11,000 for this year.
Okay. Mr. Stratton, I'll appoint you to represent
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shepherd. I'll enter a not guilty plea.
Your Honor, this is a misdemeanor domestic violence?
Yes.
Okay.
And the complaining party is a brother.
Brother, okay.
And this is the mother.
Okay. I'm going to ask for a signature bond in this matter, Your Honor.
We'll see what they say.
That's bad too. So what's Caleb think about all this? This Caleb's not here. Why wasn't he there?
I did.
I could keep
So we can do
Help
it.
him.
24, 24.
If you want to change that dynamic a little bit. Okay, now, do I understand that Caleb doesn't want a protection order?
No.
So Caleb's not here, Your Honor, he's the victim. And Caleb and Benjamin are brothers. And this young lady is their mother, whose name I didn't catch, but...
Teresa.
Teresa. And she says that Caleb doesn't want a protection order, but he's not here because he's lazy. And Benjamin probably has an alcohol problem that needs to be addressed. So we wouldn't have a problem with him getting out of jail. We want him to keep his job. And we'd like for him to take part in some substance abuse counseling on probably, well, I don't know if it'd be outpatient or not, but that's what we suspect it would be. And at some point, we're going to try to get Caleb here to voice his opinion about things.
So they live in the same, under the same roof then, or, okay. All right, well, I'm going to let you out on an OR bond, but I want there not to be any further problems between you and your brother, and part of your conditions of your bond is you're not to be consuming alcohol at the residence.
Yes, sir.
Or be under the influence of alcohol while you're at the residence. So if you want to do either of those things, you need to clear out and go someplace else. So there won't be any problems with your brother or mother. And then I would suggest, do you have health insurance through your work, or you're not on health insurance yet?
I do.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, that limits the number of places that you can go. OVP would be a place that could accept your health insurance, and they've got, you've got a facility in Proctorville, right there at the Kroger Shopping Center.
So we'll get an assessment done at OVP, Your Honor, before the next hearing.
Okay. What's better for your work schedule, Mr. Shepherd, Mondays or Fridays to come back to court? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
May 12th then?
Yeah, May 12th will be fine.
I think you're already here.
Yeah.
All right, your next hearing is 3 weeks from today. That's May the 12th. In the meantime, I think it could be a great idea for you to start working on some treatment.
Was it,
$1,000 OR bond.
Was a treatment agency discussed, Your Honor?
Yes, OVP was suggested. He has health insurance, so there's a limited number of facilities. If you want to go to Huntington Proact, we'll take health insurance. Valley Health, Proact, Valley Health, OVP.
Thank you.
that worked too. All right, yeah, so just go pick them up.
Okay, that finishes up at the jail.
Thank
So he's going to get out here shortly.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
State of Ohio recalls Hunter Tooley, case number CRB 23147.
Okay, I did get a report from Kyle Gibson. He's not his counselor, but he is a counselor there. I need to look it up. It says he's engaging in services, began working his first anger management session the 16th. We had to reschedule another session due to his new employment. And so he is engaged, I guess, next Tuesday to go back for another session.
Yes, sir.
So, continue on. Come back in a month or so, Mr. Morford?
Yes, Your Honor.
May 22nd? It's a Monday.
I'm here.
May 22nd for pretrial.
Now, Your Honor, my notes indicate that he did plead guilty previously.
I think he did, but that was without counsel, as I recall, and so I just marked it down as a pretrial.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're on.
State of Ohio versus Dylan Hyden, case number CRA 22473, CRC 2249, A and B.
Okay, good screen. Very good, sir. So, and you're going to OVP Proctorville?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we'll come back May 26th?
Yes.
May 26th, and hopefully get a good report from them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Jennifer Collins, case number CRB 24, A and B, TRC 194073.
On this case, Your Honor, we got, I think, fine, cost, and community service to do.
I was incarcerated for 26 days and on house arrest for 3 weeks.
Now you're under,
No, I was.
Okay.
From the last time that I came here, the day after I got arrested.
What's our next item?
194073.
You paid $40 last time you were here.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not working since last time I was here, so I don't have nothing today.
She doesn't have anything to pay today, Your Honor. She's not working at the moment, so.
Okay. April 29th, May 6th, you can get double credit on community service. And you still owe some.
Yes, sir.
A week from tomorrow, and then a week Saturday after that, you get double credit. You have to call the bus, you're gonna have so many people taking to the fairgrounds. Hopefully.
If you do it anyway, those 2 dates.
May 26th,
May 26th, Your Honor.
for sentencing.
You good?
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Michael Trogdon, case number TRC 23-5, A, B, C, and D. I did not check it.
This is Mr. Steyer's case. He's supposed to be at Valley Health.
I have no information about Mr. Trogdon's whereabouts.
He had a terrible drug screen last time. So I'll issue a warrant.
Thank you.
Okay. All of a sudden, it's over.
Thank you.
There was like 10 people here, and then they all left. Court's adjourned.